Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, all mattresses are on sale. Plus, free home delivery during our Cyber Week sale. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Matt?
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. It's been obviously a whirlwind day. Tomorrow is the early signing period. So we do have a recruiting tracker up at LouisianaSports.net. The very quick catch up if you've not heard yet. LSU has added 2 commitments from Ole Miss. So they flipped 2 prospects from Ole Miss. 4-star tight end J.C. Anderson has flipped his commitment from Ole Miss to LSU. And then Ryan Moret, who is a 4-star offensive lineman, an elite offensive lineman out of Miami, has flipped to LSU as well. The decommitments, wide receiver Kenny Darby has decommitted, as has offensive lineman Jalen Chapman out of New Orleans. And Kervin Johnson, wide receiver, has flipped from LSU, incidentally, to Ole Miss. Shea Dixon was with us earlier today, said expect more. The 3 members of the LSU class who decommitted today, it's safe to say that those were players that were purged. So you have I don't know a better way to say it, but a coaching staff comes in, and this is not unique to Lane Kiffin or John Summerall at Florida or Alex Golish at Auburn or Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas or James Franklin at Virginia Tech or any other coach. I mean, you're going to go into a job. There's going to be commits that are already there. You're going to evaluate it and decide if you want to honor the offer that was given by the previous staff. And you don't have to. And there's going to be turnover. That's just going to happen all the time. So, but it sounds like they are not anywhere close to being done. And based on a conversation I had last night, they're anticipating a really good Wednesday over at LSU. So I don't know what else that means, what other prospects they're anticipating getting into this class. There's 2 you got today. We'll see what others may come. But they're anticipating a really big day, very, very confident of a really big day on Wednesday. We'll follow it. Of course, if you want to see that recruiting tracker, it's all there, and all the stuff's free over at LouisianaSports.net. Okay. This is pretty significant news here today. Lane Kiffin released a statement earlier today announcing that LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weis Jr. is going to be allowed to coach Ole Miss in the playoffs, despite being LSU coordinator Charlie Weis Jr. The statement that Lane Kiffin released earlier today, I'll read it for you quickly here. He says, with the playoff committee releasing updated rankings tonight, I wanted it to be known that after conversations with LSU, we are allowing Charlie to return to Ole Miss to coach the team during the playoffs. I've already made the committee aware of this, And I'm hopeful this decision will allow Ole Miss to receive the highest ranking possible because these great players are very deserving of that. I'm excited that Charlie will be back to help coach the greatest team in the history of Ole Miss. Okay, so that's the statement from Lane Kiffin about allowing Charlie Weis to go back. I think, and by the way, this has been roundly celebrated. Kirk Herbstreit tweeted about it. Everyone is celebrating this move, this decision to do this. And I do believe part of this is probably a little self-serving for Lane Kiffin because he can sort of he can play the card that even though he left, he still wants Ole Miss to do well, and he's basically putting Charlie Weis on loan to Ole Miss at this point to go help them win. I also believe genuinely that he wants them to do well and the players that he coached and all that sort of stuff. I believe both of those things can be true at the same time. A big part of Lane Kiffin's press conference Monday was about the manner in which he left, as you'd imagine. He talked about it in his open. He was asked about it. There was times he wasn't asked about it, but deviated there anyway. Like play number 2. This is Lane, just a little dose of him talking about how difficult of a decision it was.
Leaving Ole Miss was extremely difficult, and in that we tried every single thing possible to continue to coach the team through the playoffs and to continue to coach the players. In the end, that was their decision, and we totally respect that and appreciate the time and energy that we tried to figure out a plan to do the best thing at the time for those players. The last 6 years of my life have been the best 6 years of my life.
That's enough. That's the point I wanted. Kiffin made the point over and over and over again that he wanted to coach his team, and it was Ole Miss's decision not to let him. And, more than 2 weeks ago, I sat right here, and I gave you what was phrased as an opinion that they weren't going to let Lane Kiffin coach the team, but I knew that was fact because they told him that all the way throughout this thing, that there was no way they were letting him coach the college football playoff. And I don't care if he said that they told him that on Saturday night when all that decision was made. That decision was made weeks ago, and it was made abundantly clear to him weeks ago that if he left, he was not coaching the playoff. And as time goes on, the truth comes out about these things. But for me, this feels extremely hypocritical from the Ole Miss perspective. And I know this is going to be perceived by a lot of people as the LSU media guy going to bat for the now LSU coach. Take it however you want. I don't know anyone in media that is more pro NIL portal, do what you want than me. Is that fair? Like, can we say that? Like, we all understand. For as long as I've sat here, players, you want to opt out, opt out. You want to transfer 6 times, transfer 6 times. You want to get a giant payday one year, go to another school, get a payday. You want to be Diego Pavi and get further eligibility, good. Coaches, portal it up, whatever. I'm good with all of it. Because this is a mess college football created. So in this instance, you could say I'm just going to bat for the LSU coach, but really I'm pretty consistent with my approach on these types of topics. Ole Miss wouldn't let Lane Kiffin coach their team in the playoff, despite him wanting to do so. And I agree with their decision, by the way. Just to be clear, I do. I agree with their decision. If I think of it the other way, if LSU's coach left after the regular season before the playoff to go be the Alabama coach, would you want that person coaching your team in the playoff? Hell no. Hell no. No shot. Ice Cube's chance in hell, you'd want that person coaching your team in the playoff. I understand Ole Miss's perspective. They're right. So why are you letting Charlie Weis come coach the team in the playoff? Because that's LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weis. That's the guy who just signed a 3-year, $6 million deal to be LSU's offensive coordinator, who got on a plane and left your team for Baton Rouge on Sunday. Same dude, same principle. And you can say, well, it's an assistant. What does it matter? It's the same principle. Like, it's that old story that's attributed to Churchill. But this very erudite woman, a man walks up and says, would you sleep with me for $1 million? She says, well, yeah, I should say I would. So will you sleep with me for $5? Oh, what type of woman do you think I am? So we've already established that. Now we're just haggling over price. The premise is the same. Head coach, coordinator, same. It's the same premise. Like, you didn't want the LSU coach to coach your team in the game. Okay, I get that. I respect that. I really do. I would think the same thing. So why are you letting Charlie Weis come by? Why? Because you want to win. Because you want to win. And it's the same reason why Keith Carter, who's known this whole time that Lane Kiffin was going to leave, but never held his feet to the fire. Never held his feet to the fire. So, I mean, at any point, could have held his feet to the fire and made him make a call before the Egg Bowl. Could have done it. Made the transition with Joe Judge, all that sort of stuff. Well, didn't. And it became the big giant mess that it was. Why did he not make the call earlier? Because he wanted Lane Kiffin to keep coaching the team because it gave him the best opportunity to win. Okay. Got it. Okay, respect. But then don't be a hypocrite when it comes to this situation. That's the problem I have. Everyone who's all up in arms about the way Lane Kiffin left, what's he supposed to do? Just be the Ole Miss coach forever? Or until they don't have a good season so he can leave? What are you talking about? Like, people say it was so unprecedented. Yeah, it's unprecedented. Yes, this is unprecedented. This is only the second year ever of a 12-team playoff. What if this was 2 years ago in a 4-team playoff and Ole Miss is ranked 7th? Is it okay then? Because they're not going to be in a 4-team playoff because they're ranked 7th. So it's okay. It would have been okay then to leave your 11-1 team because you would have been leaving before a New Year's 6, but not before a playoff, right? That's so, just so we're clear. See, everybody keeps moving the goalposts on this. I've been pretty consistent. Like, I'm good leaving. Players leave. Last year, we had players whose teams made the college football playoff and opted out. I mean, Bo Prabula, the backup quarterback at Penn State, opted out in the playoff to go because he had to get in the portal to go to Missouri. Are we crushing Bo Prabula? No, we didn't crush Bo Prabula. You know what we said? Man, the calendar sucks as that kid has to make that decision. So why are you crushing a coach who has to make the same decision because the same calendar sucks? Like, yeah, it sucks. I agree completely. It's stupid. I wish they changed the calendar. Because Ole Miss, with or without Lane Kiffin, wouldn't win a national championship this year. They're going to lose. And then if the calendar was right, he could have opted out. Or he could have left at the end of the season after they lost. And everyone would have gotten it. And there would have been people upset and all that sort of stuff, whatever. But it's what it is. Because every coach ever who has ever left a school ever has done this. The whole, oh, how can he leave his players? Every single coach that's ever left for another job ever has left their players. That's the nature of it. And the hypocrisy that people have. Like, you never left a job? I listened to Paul Feinbaum crushing Lane Kiffin, calling him a disgrace. Hey, Paul, you left WJOX to go to the SEC Network. Are you a disgrace? Or did you take a better opportunity at hand? God bless. What do you do for a living? You're a teacher. Someone's going to increase your salary, give you a chance to go do the best ever, the dream destination of your profession. But you got to leave in the middle of the school year. You going? Yeah, you are. It's amazing how people hold coaches to different standards. Amazing. In any event, I get it, how that's going to be perceived by a lot of people. This is the LSU guy going to bat for the LSU coach. But I'll put my head on my pillow tonight feeling very comfortable with my stance on this because it's how I feel about this era of college football. A lot of people clutch their pearls and scream about how they're ruining the sacredness of college football. All I've said is, y'all, college football, as much as I love it in spite of itself and have my whole life. Because college football is so freaking flawed. You're going to tell me you're going to give the death penalty to SMU because Eric Dickerson's riding around in a gold Trans Am in the 80s? Will Wade gets run out of LSU because of his damn strong offer, which, by the way, we've talked about that a billion times. And then 2 years later, pay him whatever you want. Give me a break. Like, Lane Kiffin isn't the villain here. He's not. He's operating within the system. Can't change the system. You don't like the behavior, change the system. which hopefully is the net result of this. And if Lane Kiffin leaves LSU after a year, I'll sit there and I'll say the same thing. Dude left for a better offer. Lane Kiffin in 2 years goes to the NFL. I go, God bless, man. Dude wanted something LSU couldn't offer. I get it. You're not going to hear me sitting up here crushing a coach or a player for leaving for a better opportunity. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're bored. And by the way, I do feel badly for the Ole Miss players. And I do feel badly for the Ole Miss fans. I mean, it sucks. That is a thing that sucks what happened. It does. It sucks. But there's no alternative. He didn't have the option to wait to the end of the playoff, and he took a better job. This is the hand you're dealt. There's no other way to do it. Okay. Live with the result. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a break. We'll continue here. Stick around.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. For Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, I am so fired up not only to tell you about how you can feel your best every day with hormone replacement therapy, but peptides, y'all, are so life-changing. If you are not familiar with peptides, you need to get to know and learn more about peptides. I've told you about BPC 157. It has changed my life. Literally, I don't say that loosely. I've had chronic back pain. You've heard me complain about it forever. I started on BPC 157 about 6 months ago. The transformation to heal and be pain-free is astonishing. I feel like I never thought I would experience this type of relief. But it's not just for things like inflammation or pain or recovery, also gut issues, mental health, clarity, energy, mood, so many ways that are non-pharmaceutical. You can feel your best. Yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't into cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along.
I got a text to the show for a guy named Chris. So Matt, you honestly don't believe the rules in place before revenue share and NIL benefited LSU? If you were to poll your audience, 99% would say they hate this new pay-for-play era of college football. You're on an island here. I replied to him. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if I'm on an island. It's how I feel. I'm not telling you I'm right. Like, I'm not pounding the table and saying I'm right and you're all wrong. I also think there is an enormous, this is just human nature. There is an enormous amount of groupthink among human beings. Like, a lot of people are sheep. A lot of people want to be told what to think, what to believe. That's why they look for affirmation, not information. It's harder to move away from the pack and think for yourself. It's easier to be a lemming and just fall in line. So I understand everyone says, college football, the marching bands, the fight songs, the school colors, the rivalries. How could we possibly have college football without Texas and Texas A&M? They didn't play for 15 years. And you know what? College football only grew and got better. Oh, the NIL, the transfer portal, they're ruining college football. What happened to the loyalty? You know what? Ratings keep going up. Revenue keeps going up every year. Oh, 12-team playoff. Oh, it's so boring. What are we doing? What about a champion? They're devaluing the regular season. Ratings keep going up. The playoff viewership up. You actually have more teams engaged throughout the fan base is engaged throughout the season. Like, all of the things that people have been force-fed their entire lives about college football is garbage. We love college football because we're passionate about our teams. They represent our states and our cities and our universities that we attended. and things we grew up rooting for and loving. And yes, and all of that stuff is amazing. I love fight songs and school colors and rivalries. All that stuff is amazing. Yes, it is. But it's not the only thing that makes up college football. And when I have to hear people talk about like the tradition of bowl games, it is so laughable. Hey, let me ask you a question. LSU fan who loves the tradition of bowl games. How many of y'all packing y'all ass up and going to Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl or Nashville for the Music City Bowl? Huh? How many going? Y'all going? Muse, you going to take off work and go?
No.
Yeah, no? Paul, you going to take off work and go? Huh?
I will not.
No, you're not? No kidding, huh? Huh. How many LSU fans went? What was it? Who did they play in last year? Texas Bowl, was that right?
That's right, the Texas Bowl.
I don't even remember who they played. Who did they play?
Baylor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Played Baylor in the Texas Bowl. How many LSU fans do you think went to that game? They had a line outside a athletic administration building waiting to buy tickets. Think about it was just clicking refresh on a computer to buy tickets when they went live. You think that happened?
No.
Because you don't care about stupid bowl games. The tradition of bowl games. Yo, I'm just the only one. Let me not say I'm the only one. I'm just one of the few willing to present an alternative point of view. Because I'll tell you this much. Everybody that wants to sell you Auburn and Georgia, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Man, that's great for college football. You know what was great for college football this year? Texas at Georgia. That was great for college football this year. You know what was awesome this year? The classic Big Ten battle of Indiana at Oregon. Monster game with huge implications. Tell me you weren't entertained by that. Come on. We just want good games, y'all. We just want good games. We want competitive games. We want a good system that allows you to play it out on the field. I don't want 2013 Florida State going undefeated, not getting a chance to play because a bunch of goons in a hotel ballroom decided they weren't worthy because their quarterback got hurt. And maybe they get run. Who knows? And don't give me the crap about how Georgia beat them. Their whole team opted out. Shut up, idiot. Not interested in that. Come on. A real playoff is awesome. All of this stuff. There's a reason we keep watching. There's a reason we're staying more engaged. There's a reason ratings are going up. Revenue's going up. It's not just because new people are finding college football. It's because there's more on the line. Through November, you still got a shot. Well, it devalues. Oh, really? Tell me how much LSU beating Ole Miss last year in overtime was devalued because it was a game in October. Bunch of y'all dumbasses still ran on the field. My wife was one of them. No, she didn't. She didn't out the Alabama game in 2022. Come on. What are we talking about? So all these people complaining about Lane Kiffin leaving, the manner in which he did, he had no other option. Well, he could have stayed. Okay, so then he stays at Ole Miss forever, right? Because now you can never leave. Because if you leave, then you're leaving your team and the guys you recruited and blah, 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 blah. He was the first. This is the same reaction. Y'all, this is the same reaction. The same stupid reaction that lemmings had in 2016 when Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey opted out of bowl games. They quit on their team. What's the life lesson you're learning? You know what the life lesson you're learning is? You have millions of dollars on the line in a few months in the NFL draft, and I'm not going to go play in the friggin' Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl for a stupid nothing trophy so a bunch of fat dudes in ugly blazers can get a payday for a game under the guise of a 501c3 nonprofit. Who are you kidding, man? Come on. And now nobody cares if people opt out because like the shade has been removed. The emperor with no clothes has been exposed. With Oz and the curtain and all that stuff, it's gone. We all see it for what it is. You just wanted to ignore it before. What, you think your team got all those? Well, you think everybody was paying players except LSU all those years? Oh, LSU never paid a player, right? Come on. Just accept it for what it is. And if you don't like it, change the rule. That's my hope of this. My hope of all this, look, I hope Lane Kiffin does awesome at LSU, right? As a fan, alum, all that stuff, I hope he does awesome. But I'm not sitting here talking to you today as a fan or an alum. My job is to give you opinions on sports stuff. That's what I get paid to do, give you honest opinions. And some of y'all like it, some of y'all don't. Some of y'all love me, some of y'all hate me. I hear all your messages. I mean, I know. Well, not all of them. There's too many. But I see a lot of them. I know what the feeling is. That's okay. I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to kiss my wife and play with my son and have a great night's sleep. And I'll get up and do it again tomorrow as long as they let me. It's fine. We're just having a conversation. My job is to sit here and give you honest opinions. And it's not about Lane Kiffin. I hope Lane Kiffin does awesome at LSU. I hope he wins games and wins championships and all that good stuff. But Lane Kiffin is the first because it's just the era. And it'll happen again. So John Summerall's doing it. John Summerall's leaving in the middle of the playoff. Why ain't anybody crushing John Summerall today? Tulane's letting him coach. Now, I get it. Tulane's different. Tulane is not Ole Miss to LSU. Tulane to Florida. Tulane and Florida are not the same. I get that. It's not shade at Tulane. They got a great program. They've done a great job with their program. Really have. And I like to see Louisiana schools do well. But we're kidding ourselves if we're trying to pretend like Tulane and Florida are the same. They're not. So I get it. But hopefully what comes of this is you change the rules, is you change the calendar. So, and it's not just about making coaches have to stay into the end of the season before they can negotiate. You got to change the calendar. Like, you have to start the season earlier to where the season's done on New Year's so you can have your coaching carousel after New Year's or through December for the teams that don't make the playoff. And then you have a signing period after that. But the way it goes right now, there's no option otherwise. And that is the irony of this. They changed this calendar thinking that it was going to benefit the coaches so they'd have their roster set earlier. That was why they did all this. Getting rid of the spring portal, the 1 January portal window, the early signing period. That's why they did it. And ultimately, the thing they did that thought they were doing to make their lives easier has just complicated the hell out of everything. Anyway, all right. Get off my soapbox. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. For Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Oh, I need to get by Lee Michaels. Erica's ring's done. I told you Erica's diamond, her wedding ring, the diamond, the prongs were falling. The diamond, the main stone was like falling out. So brought it over to Lee Michaels and they fixed it. So I got to go pick it up over there. It's ready. Forgot about that. Guess don't go on my finger every day. I don't remember about it. But anyway, Lee Michaels is great, y'all. 10 locations in all. Amazing selection. And they really treat you awesome when you walk in. They're great at creating the Lee Michaels experience, as they call it. It just makes you comfortable. You're not pressured into buying anything. You want to try on 1,000 pieces of jewelry and not buy anything? You can do that. They want you to feel comfortable when you walk in the door. It's not something that we do every day. We don't buy jewelry every day, at least not all of us. So maybe some of you do. If you do, God bless. But, if you want to learn and make an informed decision, you want to be excited to present that gift to your loved one, and you want her to be thrilled, Lee Michaels can help you do it. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it is after further review. I'm pretty excited to get to talking about football sooner or later than all the off-the-field stuff, hiring staff and signing day and everything. But that's part of it, so they'll make it through. All right, well, now I got a quick break. Come back. Jimmy will be here in about 15 minutes for Out of Locks. We'll look forward to that. Y'all stick around on AFR.
After further review.
Get on by Clegg's and get your Christmas tree. We did that on Black Friday. It's the Moscona family tradition. Day after Thanksgiving, we pack up the old sleigh, head over to Clegg's and pick out our family Christmas tree. And then Erica turns our house into Santa's workshop. It still looks like a bomb exploded in Santa's workshop at our house right now. It's crazy. But 'tis the season to be merry. And Clegg's can help you do that. If you want to get a Christmas tree, they got plenty of them. You want poinsettias? Poinsettias? They got the best selection anywhere. I also learned at Clegg's on Black Friday, did you know that a poinsettia is actually an inside plant? Erica keeps ours outside, and that probably explains why, well, I mean, they live past Christmas. But anyway, they're an inside plant. I learned that. Anyway, buy local, shop local. They got trees and poinsettias and all your Christmas decor. So go see our friends today over at Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun, over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes.
For sure. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be some Hollywood stuff, man. Lane Kiffin, Honey Badger in the meeting room. This mad scientist.
That was Tyrann Mathieu on the Up and Adams show. He's asked if you would join the LSU staff. Be interesting. I mean, kind of feels like that defensive staff is mostly in place. We'll see what happens with Blake Baker. The one, honestly, big defensive staff unknown right now is with Kyle Williams, another former LSU Tiger. For what it's worth, here's what Tyrann said about the Lane Kiffin hire.
Lane Kiffin is historically, right, like he's going to put up 500 yards a game. And so that's not really something LSU is used to outside of Joe Burrow, right? Mm-hmm. So every year we be craving for a quarterback and craving to score points. Well, now we have the guy to do that, but can we continue playing great defense? That's going to prove if he's a championship coach or not.
Well, that's true. And I know I've been getting heat from people about what I said before the LSU Ole Miss game this year, where I said Lane Kiffin is not an elite head coach. I say he's not a championship. I think the way I said it was he's not a championship level head coach. And I think that's true. I think he is an elite, brilliant play caller, which is what I said in that clip. But he's got to prove that he's a championship coach because he hasn't proven that yet. He won 2 Conference USA titles at FAU. But now, given the resources of an LSU, can he prove he's a championship coach? I hope so. I mean, that's why he's here. But that's why Brian Kelly came here as well. So it remains to be seen. I think Lane Kiffin does have still a lot to prove. His offensive prowess and acumen, that's undeniable. I mean, everywhere he's gone, offenses have been great. He is a brilliant offensive mind. They had the most talented team in the history of Ole Miss a year ago in 2024. And they went 9-3, lost 3 games they had no business losing. Can you avoid that same fate? That's the kind of thing that he'll have to prove in time. We'll see if he can. Hope he can. As I mentioned, Tyrann is a former Tiger. Would he join the staff? We've seen that before. Obviously, Corey Raymond's a former Tiger who's on the staff right now, and so is Kyle Williams. Williams is going to be the interesting one to watch here, aside from Blake Baker. And if you missed the start of the show, Blake Baker is interesting because he interviewed for the Tulane job. That's his alma mater. He wants to be a head coach, but Blake needs to sort of weigh his path to being a head coach. Does he, if he's offered the Tulane job, which I don't know that he has been, but if he's offered the Tulane job, would he rather become a head coach now at Tulane, which is a good G6 who might even make the college football playoff this year? It's been established with Fritz, who did a really good job, and then obviously Summerall did a really good job on top of that. And you've seen both those guys go on to get Power 4 jobs, so that path is there. Or do you stay at LSU and hopefully have a great season next year, and then maybe get a high-level Power 4 job from the coordinator to the Power 4 level, which we've seen happen as well. Tons of examples. Right? I mean, Kirby, Dan Lanning, Lincoln Riley. I mean, Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day. I mean, it happens plenty in this era. And if Blake Baker leaves, then the 2 guys he brought from his defensive staff at Missouri here, Jake Olson and Kevin Peoples, would likely go with him. But the hope is he stays. The other one that we don't know about is Kyle Williams. And Kyle was an interesting hire to begin with. Great former Tiger, played in the NFL. I think did actually a fantastic job this year, technically, with this defensive line. I mean, they were really good. Very sound, really good on the interior. But it was an interesting hire at the time because, Kyle's a guy that made a ton of money after playing 13 years in the NFL. And not that that's everything, but it allows you to live a comfortable life. And, all the talk about Kyle is he played golf every day before he became the LSU coach. He lived at Squire Creek, played golf every day, or maybe he was a member at Squire Creek, played golf every day. His children are really good athletes. His daughter are soccer players and travel teams, so he was able to go watch them. And you coached at his alma mater at Ruston, so he got to stay near the game. And so anyway, the lifestyle worked. And he left that to kind of, come back. The alma mater needs you. And so he came in and joined the staff. And this was a team that had such grand expectations. It was a top 10 preseason team, and they beat Clemson, get all the way up to number 3 in the country, and then the bottom falls out, right? You go 7-5, the staff gets fired, all the things that happened this year. And I think he misses the lifestyle he had before he became a coach. So I don't know what Kyle is going to do. I'm relaying things to you that that are the conversations being had, and we'll see what happens there. It would be great if Kyle returned because I think he was really good on field as a defensive line coach. But I don't know if he wants to, I guess is what I'm saying. And I don't have the answer, by the way. I'm telling you very candidly. I do not know what Kyle Williams is going to do. I just know these are the types of things that are being discussed around that position in Kyle if he comes back. So it'll be fascinating to see what he does. If he wants to, I hope he does. But if not, I think I understand it as well. Most people as parents, understand you want to spend time to see your kids and you make choices in life. But if Kyle does bow out and the rest of the staff stays in place, what they do at defensive tackle coach will be interesting on the defensive line. Is it Ed Ogeron? Do they go a different direction? The other really interesting point today is since we've been on the air, DJ Durkin agreed to an extension at Auburn. And that's significant because if you were here at the start of the show, we were talking about Blake Baker, and if he did leave if Blake Baker did in fact leave for Tulane, we're looking at, the most obvious candidate to replace him would have been DJ Durkin. A lot of the word out of Auburn was that he was not happy, Durkin, that he was passed over for the head coaching job. And he has a history with Lane Kiffin. Durkin was the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss under Kiffin for a couple of years early in Lane's tenure at Ole Miss. So, and what I say is sometimes the obvious answer is obvious for a reason. So now Durkin would be off the board if he's staying at Auburn. So what direction would potentially Kiffin go at defensive coordinator if Baker takes the DC job? Again, hopefully we don't have to find out. I'd love it if Blake stays. I think he's a super popular assistant coach. He's an outstanding defensive coordinator, and you'd love to see him continue to build upon what they've done. And can you imagine Blake Baker's defense complemented by an offense that can move and score points like Kiffin's can? That feels like a really good recipe, man. And hopefully they can make that beautiful music together next year. But we'll follow it as it goes. But it's going to be an interesting 24 hours as Lane Kiffin continues to put the finishing touches on his coaching staff, support staff, and then obviously with signing day being Wednesday as well, with a lot of twists and turns, very likely. Hey, we're brought to you by Evamore, E-V-A-M-O-R. Always have my bottle of Evamore here. Drink a couple of those 64-ounce bottles every single day. It's so important to stay hydrated, especially during the cold weather months and cold and flu season. One of the best ways to help your immune system, stay hydrated. A lot of times when it's cold outside, we forget to drink water. Make it a point. That's why I carry around these big bottles all day to remind me, man, drink water. Drink water all day. And if you're going to drink water, drink Evamore. It's natural artesian water. It's a true natural artesian water. I always encourage you, man, do a side-by-side taste test of whatever bottled water that you usually buy, and then buy a bottle of Evamore and drink it side-by-side. Crisp, delicious, refreshing taste, and most importantly, there's never anything added or taken away. Go pick up a bottle of some of the popular brands you drink and look at where it'll say certain things added for flavor or things taken out. This is just out of these ancient underground aquifers. It's a natural artesian well. They pipe the water out right in the bottle, never touches air until you uncap it. You're drinking a truly natural, all-natural product when you drink Evamore. E-V-A-M-O-R, Evamore.com, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We are glad you're hanging out with us here. We got one segment left. We're going to welcome on the Otter. We'll do a little Otter Locks here to wrap up the show. Man, man, it'd be really nice to actually pay attention to sports again and not just the coaching carousel, but we're getting to it. Otter Locks, to wrap up the show next. We're powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
If you are thinking about selling your home, your first call needs to be to Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, agent225.com. You know, one of the things that I love about Darren is the way that he goes above and beyond for his clients. At Darren James & Associates, they've partnered with ABBA Movers to offer 25% off your moving costs when you sell or buy with Darren James. So they'll help make your move smoother and your experience more stress-free. It is everything from the clear communication, checking in with you every step of the way, easy exit listing agreements so you're never locked into a contract so you can't leave. I tell you that all the time about Darren. You're going to be thrilled with the work they provide, and Darren gets results. It's why he's in the top 1% of realtors in America. Log on to agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
There's a Tulane guy. As I tweeted earlier, LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker interviewed for the Tulane job Monday. LSU's working hard to keep him in Baton Rouge, which I was told. They have an offer on the table. They're hoping they keep him. It's an interesting name to keep an eye on at Tulane is Billy Napier. The former ULL Florida coach could be in play, noting the Wave hired Willie Fritz and John Summerall, who had head coaching experience. Well, there's a guy, a Tulane guy, who said, stick to reporting about LSU. Trying to push the Napier envelope so your DC doesn't leave. All I have to say is,
Bill, I love you. Henny, he can't come from Lafayette to Baton Rouge. Speaking of English, I'm not pushing Napier.
Oh my God! I gotta get that clip. Hit the Otter Locks thing.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Oh man, Otter, how are you?
He tried that again with that Summerall boy.
No.
He tried it again. No, I'm just playing. People think that's so crazy. He gets so riled up. But we did have a little bit on the show one day. But anyway,
God. So
quit trying to push. Nah, I'm not pushing. That's classic.
That's so
and he's free. He's free. He's free. Josh Rosen, baby.
Do this job long enough talking into a microphone, you're gonna say things that stick that stick forever.
Absolutely,
undeniable.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got tonight, man?
We got a great schedule of college basketball. Big Ten conference play gets underway today. ACC, SEC Challenge starts tonight. So we got that going as well. Let's get right to it. Syracuse at home against Tennessee. Tennessee's one of my favorite teams, but coming home after their Las Vegas trip and kind of dialing down the schedule just a little bit. On the road at Syracuse, Q's catching 7.5 rather. They're improved as well. We're going to take Syracuse Orangemen plus 7.5 at home.
No, they're just the Orange Otter. Come on, they haven't been the Orange Men in like 20 years.
They're Orangemen to me, man.
They're the Syracuse Orange. Come on, they haven't been the Orangemen since Carmelo was there. No,
is that right? Jim Brown. Come on, man. So anyway,
Ernie Davis,
Floyd Little.
We're just Donovan McNabb. We're just naming Syracuse. Jim Boeheim. Who else you got?
All right, take the Orange Man. So anyway, A&M at Pitt, the Peterson Event Center, my favorite basketball arena anywhere. Courtside suites, you gotta love it. Pitt plus 3.5 at home against A&M. ACC team at home catching points. Wake Forest, one of the most improved teams in all of college basketball. You saw what Michigan did in that Vegas tournament. They beat Gonzaga by 40 in the final. I mean, they destroyed the field. They had them beat. They lost in Ann Arbor in double overtime. They went to Lubbock and played Texas Tech. They lost to them by 1. Now they're laying just 4.5 at home against Oklahoma. Take the Demon Deacons. And then Florida State could have beat Florida on the road. They're at home tonight against Georgia. Lay the 1.5. And one SEC team we're taking in these 5 SEC, ACC challenge games is Kentucky at home minus 6.5 against North Carolina. 5 home teams. 4 of those are ACC teams. One of the most improved conferences in college basketball against probably one of the biggest dips. SEC right now, number 5 conference RPI. Last year was 14-2. It'll be much more even this year.
Where are you tomorrow?
We are in Snows in Gonzales. So go Orangemen! Orangemen!
I'm not pushing Napier!
Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
See ya. All right, we're getting out of here. Have a great night. Muse Pauly, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, I get to remind you about First South Farm Credit. Not too late, y'all, as we near the end of the year. A lot of times, as you near the end of the year, people are looking for maybe tax opportunities. How about buying land? Maybe you've started that process. Maybe you're thinking about starting that process. Our friends over at First South Farm Credit can help make it a reality. As a landowner, you're going to incur expenses. It can be tax deductible. So ask your CPA the benefits of owning recreational timber land. Might be great for you. Look, I know we say it often, but land's a finite resource, man. Columbus ain't sailing the ocean blue ever again. We found it all, and it's never going down in value. So you want a great investment property? Buying land can certainly be that. If it's 100 acres in Tangipahoa, if it's the 20 acres in St. Francisville, 1,000 acres for farmland, First South Farm Credit can help. Go to firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com.